So how did you personally get involved in this?
I was friends with Josh, I play guitar in the band, and Josh is the other guitar player in the band. And I've been friends with him all my life. We played in bands in high school and stuff, and I was in university, and he kind of formed this band while I was in university. And basically, the day I was done university, I needed a place to live. I needed a new house and stuff, and he had a room with him, and I moved in, and within the same week, his other guitar player quit, and I already knew, like, probably 4 songs or something just from playing guitar in my room and figuring stuff out, and kind of got the job that way.
Were you in there whenever Gutterbound came out?
Yeah, I came into it as it took, like, off and on, probably a year to record Gutterbound just because of financial purposes and stuff, but I came in the middle of recording Gutterbound, so I was kind of like halfway, I had half to do with Gutterbound, I guess. But yeah.
So between that one and the self-titled one that just came out here last year, what would you say some of the differences are between those two?
I'd say mostly, in my opinion, would be just like the production value of the record, better songwriting, I think, the new one's kind of just like a more cohesive unit, more cohesive as an album in itself. I think Gutterbound was kind of songs that might have, like, they were around for a while, mixed with some new ones, and kind of just all over the place. Not like all over the place in a bad way. Like, that's a good record, in my opinion. Like, great songs and stuff. But this new one just kind of seems like an actual album, like a full more of a cohesive unit, I would say.
So do you know how the new one did? Like, I don't know, sale-wise or review-wise, like any kind of feedback from that?
Yeah, we get great feedback on it from what I've seen around, like, online and stuff. And we were in Kerrang's top 10 to look out for. Was it Kerrang or Metal Hammer? One of them, top 10 to look out for 2011. We're top 10 for 2010 for their top 10 albums on their podcasts and stuff. They do, like, this online kind of just review of their opinion, what are some of the best albums of 2010, and we were voted top 10. So we've had some great reviews on that album. I haven't really heard too much negative feedback on it yet.
So do you have a favorite track or maybe a few standout tracks on this one, if you can even, like, start to pick one?
I like a lot of the songs, but some of the songs, I like different songs for different reasons. I like a lot of the songs to listen to, but I also like different songs for, playing them live and stuff. Like, one track playing live that's awesome, in my opinion, is Mental. And it might not be, like, a fan favorite or too much on the album, but it's so much fun to play live, and it's great. Like, you get great crowd response. It's fast, it's heavy. There's sweet solos to play, and that's always fun for, being a guitar player and stuff. So that'd be a great song, I would say. Event Horizon, the last track on the album, great song to play. And then there's other songs like that are just awesome to listen to that might be a little bit more simpler to play on the guitar and stuff, like Game On or Down and Out or stuff like that. So I like the whole record. Like, it's great. When
and how did you guys get involved with Dave Mustaine? Like, that's pretty awesome that the dude, lead singer and lead guitarist in Megadeth, is your manager.
Yeah, it still blows my mind every day thinking about it. I guess basically how it happened was we played this big festival last July in Montreal called Heavy MTL, or Heavy Montreal is what it's called. And Megadeth were the headliner along with Slayer. It's a 2-day thing. It's a pretty huge festival. Like, I think tons of people from the States and probably even your area come up for that festival. So it's pretty big, and we we didn't really meet Dave then, but we played we played on the same day as them. And then about 3 or 4, maybe a week later, I guess, they played in London here with Slayer on the Canadian Carnage tour. And Joel met him. Joel went down with some people from the label and hung out with Dave and stuff after the show, and just kind of got his foot in the door and started talking to him and mentioned our band and stuff, and told him the name and that we have a new record with Roadrunner and stuff. So Dave ended up checking it out and really liking it, and I guess it just happened to be kind of the perfect timing. He was looking for kind of a little project like that to work on, a kind of a co-managing project with him and his manager, and he decided to kind of take us on from there, and thought we were a good band that, kind of an up-and-coming band that maybe needs some, guidance or whatever, and he just kind of seemed it like a good project for him. So that's kind of how he kind of asked us, basically, like if we were interested, and we definitely were. He's a great guy, man.
What's it like working with him?
He's awesome. Like, we talk on the phone probably at least 3 or 4 times a week, if not more, depending on like what we got going on and what we need to figure out and stuff. Emails all the time, every day from him, no matter what he's doing. And like, he's not the laziest guy in the world. Like, he's pretty damn busy, all the time. So he's been nothing but incredible. And also, it's like his manager too, Mark Edelman is his name, and that's Megadeth's manager, and he manages a bunch of bands. So it's him and Dave who are kind of working with us here, and they're both just unreal. Great guys. Like, sometimes you might think, these guys wouldn't have time for a band like us or anything like that, but they're great. It's been nothing but a good experience on our opinion.
So what have you guys been up to since the self-titled release? I see you have a couple shows coming up.
Yes. Well, we finished that it was probably into June when we finished that. We were in the studio for a month from May to June with Zeus doing that record. It was amazing, by the way. And after that, we did a awesome tour with Fear Factory and her friends 36 Crazy Fists after the Burial, and did an awesome tour around North America with them, and just did a bunch of touring in Canada after that, from through September with Hatebreed. We went out with Hatebreed and a couple other bands, and then just kind of toured around here, toured around Canada, did some headlining stuff into October, and then I think we took a little time in November and December, and then we just went out with Devil Driver and our buddies the Cancer Bats in January for a North America run, and it was unbelievable. It was sold-out shows every night. It was one of the best tours we've ever done, and both those bands are crazy awesome. So, I mean, that's kind of what we've been up to. We've just been touring and playing as much as possible and trying to, just get the word out and get people aware of us, and that's about it, I guess. And then just, riffing out at home and trying to write some new songs and stuff, and just keep busy doing stuff like that, getting our online presence built up. We try and do that as much as possible, just be constantly online, updating stuff, doing, little videos or whatever it may be. I always love when bands, do little blog updates and video updates and stuff, so we try and do that a lot too. So just kind of keep busy doing, everything that it takes to really be a band, and it's not just about playing shows all the time. You got to do everything else that's involved, and it's pretty, crazy at times, but it's definitely worth it, and it's fun as hell.
All right, so we kind of talked about this a little bit, or you touched upon a little bit, but do you have any plans? I know it just came out, but do you have any plans for a new album, or I guess more so, do you have Like, are you working on writing anything? Maybe like a 1 or 2 songs at this point?
Yeah, we're right now we have a few. Well, we have like probably 1 or 2 full songs written. We kind of just started doing some serious writing and stuff, so we got a few stuff, a few things written right now, and we've just been riffing out and coming up with ideas and stuff. So we're like in the really, really early stages of doing stuff, but we are doing it, and so it's kind of something that you're always doing. You know what I mean? Like you're always kind of trying to write a cool riff, or just document your ideas in any way that you can. So we're hopefully. I would say, like, I don't know. We haven't really discussed anything formally with anyone yet, but like I would say like maybe the end of this year or next year we'd probably start really like maybe even get into the studio or whatever we can do. But this year I think I'm just going to really try and push this album as much as we can and try and push for some maybe U.S. release if the demand's there and stuff. And we want to get over to Europe, which would be unbelievable, like do some of those big festivals in Europe. So right now, I think this year's going to be more about touring and really pushing that album, because I think there's still, some longevity to that album that we got to kind of push out there a bit, I guess. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. That's a big part of getting your name out too with the internet, just touring and everything.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And like we said, like want to get over to Europe and try and get some sort of fan base built over there. And I think that album would do pretty well over there. And we have a good. Dave actually hooked us up with a great agent over there in the UK. So he's booked us some European shows and like festivals for June and stuff. So we just really want to just play as much as possible and really kick some people's asses that way for a while.
Wow, that's really sick playing in Europe. What do you know? What festivals you're going to be doing yet?
Yeah, right now we are doing. Let's see, they're all in June, and I think we're going to be playing Grass Pop Metal Meeting in Belgium for sure. That's probably mid-June. It's like a 3-day amazing festival. I think we're playing with like our day, like the headliner's like Slipknot or something. So it's going to be nuts. And then we're doing Copenhagen. It's a festival called Copenhagen. And I think we're doing Sweden and Italy and a couple more. I think we're still waiting on a offer for Download Festival in the UK. And just kind of still building it up, and we're going to try and fill it up with some club dates, off shows and stuff in between all those festivals in Europe. So we're just kind of putting together the plan of attack right now, I guess would be the way of saying it.
How would you describe your sound? Because like whenever I try to describe you guys to somebody who hasn't heard you, I'm like, well, they're kind of like thrash, but they're kind of not. They're kind of like melodic death, but they're kind of not. That's a good question, and it's actually hard for us to describe it half the time. I would say both of those things. I would say thrash is a huge influence, so I'd say we have some thrash sound to us, and I'd say melodic death metal. Like some of the Swedish metal bands, are some of our favorites. Like In Flames and Soilwork and stuff like that. And also one thing that I don't think people really touch on too much is just punk music in general. I know lots of us in the band are big fans of punk. Like I grew up listening to all the SoCal Fat Records, Epitaph bands, like when I was early into music and playing guitar and stuff, like Strung Out and No Effects and Bad Religion and all those types of bands, in Southern California. And that's like, I can just see that in our writing today, like just really kind of punky influence. We like fast stuff, And so that combined with like people, like some of us getting into metal and stuff later kind of makes for the sound of the band, I would say, in my opinion. thrash has, elements of punk in it already, so that's kind of where it came from, right? So I would say basically those three things, I would say, sums up the way Baptized in Blood sounds.
So I just have one last thing for you. Just leave you with the last word. If there's anything you want to say to any of the Baptized in Blood fans that might be listening.
I'd say keep checking us out, and hopefully we'll come and party with you guys soon. I mean, we get stoked every time we come to the States, so we love it over there. Friggin' cheap beer, better Taco Bell than there is here, and awesome shows. So, I mean, let's fucking party next time.